You are now watching the True Mets Talk podcast live stream. We will be going live shortly. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Shallow right field, stumbling start for Stewart. It's thrown to deep left field by Alvarez, and that's going to go away. 4 straight games for the second time in he's homered in 4.
What's up, Mets fans? It's your boy CP, and welcome back to the True Mets Talk post-game show. What an electric win. The New York Mets are victorious by a score of 6-4. It was the Mark Vientos show. 2 home runs, walk-off home run in the 10th inning, and your New York Mets have won 8 straight games in a row. Welcome to the Friday night Mets post-game show. Unfortunately, Rob can't join me. He had to get called into work very late, but I am here with you all. It's an amazing time to be a Mets fan, and Mark Vientos single-handedly, I want to say single-handedly, but he delivered the Mets a crucial victory in game 1 of this fresh series against the Cincinnati Reds. What a time to be a Mets fan. We'll talk about this game. It's not going to be a lengthy post game, but it's a Friday night, and I hope that you all are enjoying this Friday night. We have a lot to talk about. So before we get into it, please hit that thumbs up on this stream. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And as always, hit the live chat. I want to go ahead and go into the live chat with you all because it's exciting, guys. Meaningful baseball in September is meant to be exciting. It's meant to be exciting, and that's exactly what it is right now. So please do not be shy. Let me know in the comments, in the live chat, what the vibe is heading into the weekend on a strong note. Obviously, starting this 3-game set here tonight. Wow. I got Darren in the chat, Ray, Brad, JB. We got who else we got in here? We got Lane, John, both Johns. This is awesome. Shout out to you all. This post-game stream wouldn't be what it is without you all supporting the stream. I definitely appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up. And if you are new here, if you love Mets Talk, and if you are getting hype over these kinds of electrifying wins for our New York Mets, please hit that subscribe button because we're going to be talking about it all season long from now until the end of the season, whether that means the regular season or perhaps a playoff berth like we all are expecting the Mets to have this season. We'll be talking about this Mets squad. So like I said, please support, keep supporting, and I definitely appreciate the support. So where do we even start here? With this screen, obviously it should read, I believe, 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. So I apologize about the typo. I didn't change that with the Mark Vientos walk-off home run. Obviously, there was a runner in scoring position with that walk-off home run. But where do we start here? Obviously, we could probably skip most of the analysis and just talk about the Mark Vientos home run fest. Obviously, on the first pitch in the first inning, and then in the 10th inning off of an 8-pitch at bat, we could probably skip the rest of the game. But you know what? Let's first dial it down a little bit and let's talk about Sean Manaea because Sean Manaea had a very unusual start. He's been fantastic for the New York Mets over the last couple of weeks. Honestly, really all season long, he's been fantastic with a couple of rough starts here and there from start to finish. But what I will say is that this is an unusual start for Sean Manaea because you look at the box score and you see 4 earned runs. Obviously, that's going to jump out at you, and it's going to say, "Wow, what the hell was going on there?" Obviously, he's been giving up 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, but we haven't really seen a lot of earned runs come across the board on Sean Manaea. But the fact of the matter is that this was still another fantastic start from Sean Manaea. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, 9 strikeouts in the process. If you all remember in my pregame stream, I asked you all in the live chat poll how many strikeouts was Sean Manaea going to have. And a lot of you all actually answered 8 to 9 strikeouts, and you all would be correct. This was a fantastic start for Sean Manaea. It really was. 97 pitches in those 6 2/3 innings. He made 2 mistakes. And the Reds made him pay for it. Elly De La Cruz in the 4th inning, and then also TJ Friedl in the 7th inning after the Mets gave him the lead. 2 mistakes, but if you just take away one of those mistakes, especially that 7th inning hanger that he threw to TJ Friedl, who absolutely demolished the baseball, credit to him, this is a quality start. And even with these two mistakes, this is a quality start. And the offense was up to the task. Like I said, the earned runs might be deceiving in this start for Sean Manaea, but he really did have it working. He really did have the sweeper working. Like I said in the pregame, he was changing the eye levels of opposing bats, and this was not a bad start by any means, in my humble opinion, for Sean Manaea. The fact of the matter is that he made 2 mistakes to 2 good hitters. Well, I should say probably 1 good hitter and then another major league hitter in TJ Friedl. But Elly De La Cruz is going to make you pay if you make a mistake to him more often than not. And that's what he did to Sean Manaea. And let's not forget, these guys are human. Sean Manaea is on a ridiculous pace this season, but he's going to make mistakes along the way. This type of game is exactly what we talk about between Rob and myself, where you need to allow the offense needs to allow the starting pitcher to have room for error. And that's exactly what that 1st inning home run did for Mark Vientos, obviously getting on the board for his 23rd home run at the time, but also Sean Manaea having that breathing room and being able to pitch and be flexible with his pitches, right? He makes a mistake. It's a tie ball game, brand new ball game. It's not like you're down any. Same thing in the 6th and 7th inning. JD Martinez goes out there and delivers you an RBI. Starling Marte, the same damn thing. And then you get into the next half inning and you make another mistake. But then again, that mistake makes it a brand new ball game at 0-0 essentially instead of being down. So these are the types of wins that I always talk about in terms of both sides of the ball playing their part. And by the way, Reed Garrett, Jose Butto, Edwin Diaz, if you all are questioning or wondering why I say I'm confident in this bullpen, why I think this excuse me, sorry, I'm kind of fumbling around here. Why I say this bullpen is elite, this is the type of outing from this bullpen that makes me believe and has always made me believe, especially after the trade deadline in the pieces that David Stearns brought into his organization, that this bullpen is elite. Reed Garrett coming in, electrifying, relieves Sean Manaea, gets the final third, the 3rd and final out of that. I believe at the time it was the 7th inning. No problem at all. Comes back for the 8th inning. No problem at all. Edwin Diaz, back to his old self, his 2022 self. A lot of people were questioning Edwin Diaz. What's going on with Edwin Diaz? Ever since that Corbin Carroll Grand Slam mishap, he has been the old Edwin Diaz. Absolutely electric 9th inning for Mr. Diaz. And then Jose Butto. Jose Butto, quite frankly, has struggled, in my humble opinion, over his last couple of outings, especially with the command and the walks that he's given up. But you see how he was able to weather the storm in the top of the 10th to set his team up for success in the bottom half of the inning and inevitably allowing them to walk it off. So brilliant job by everybody that touched the baseball on the mound for the New York Mets. Manaea, Garrett, Diaz, and Butto. This is why I am confident in this Mets team, because an area where I wasn't as confident in before in the starting pitching is making me a believer, and an area that I was already a believer in the bullpen is continuing to make me a believer. And good pitching more than likely means that you are going to set your offense up for success as well. And that dynamic is going to naturally flow. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the New York Mets here over their last 8 wins. 8 wins in a row, by the way. What a time to be a Mets fan. What a time to be a Mets fan, guys. I mean, this is really kind of what it means to be a Mets fan at this point, right? After a debacle of a 2023, we were wondering when we were going to be able to see competitive baseball yet again. When was I going to be able to come on stream and talk about competitive baseball from our New York Mets? And here we are, right in the thick of the race, right in the thick of the NL wildcard race. The New York Mets are here. And by the way, don't think I forgot about Mr. Zach Scott, right? Former GM of the New York Mets, talking about, oh, that Edwin Diaz blown save or the Edwin Diaz meltdown to Corbin Carroll probably solidifies them not making the playoffs this year. Hold on, wait 1 second, because last time I checked, the New York Mets, as of September 6th, are still tied for that third wild card spot. So, Mr. Scott, Mr. Zach Scott, please hold your horses on that. I had to pull out those receipts real quick. I had to pull them out. So, wow. What a win, guys. What a win. I appreciate everyone being in here. The chat is popping. Let me get into the chat here. Let me read a couple of the comments that I have here from you all. I appreciate you all being here. Hopefully, you all love the post-game streams for me. Like I said, please hit on that thumbs up button. It means the world to me. It spreads the channel. Please hit that thumbs up button on this stream and subscribe to the channel, whether you're listening in on X or YouTube. If you like this discussion, if you like what's going on in the live chat, everybody talking Mets, us having a grand old time to start off our weekend, please subscribe to the channel. Well on our way to 900 subscribers. I believe we're about 17 subscribers left to 900. Definitely going to be doing a giveaway also at some point too. So please make sure you're listening out for that. And follow me over on X and Instagram at CPNYSports, usually live tweeting the games at CPNYSports over on X. All that good stuff, all the shameless plugging is going on. Obviously, we got Raymond in the chat saying, let's go Mets. Definitely appreciate you being here. This is a great question, Sean. What to do with Sean Beatty? Sorry, excuse me, that's your name. What to do with Brett Beatty? That's a very good question. Honestly, I've been delaying even thinking about this, right? Someone told me in my comment section, it was Ethan who told me in my X comment section, in my mentions, I guess we can forget about Beatty now. So I've kind of delayed that sort of thought process because I don't even want to think about that right now, to be honest with you. Yes, probably Brett Beatty might be the odd man out in this offseason. That's a little bit maybe too premature for me to say, but in any case, right now, we will get to the offseason when we have to cross that bridge. I will be here all offseason. So, like I said, this is not just a regular season thing. It's the offseason too that I cover on this channel. We'll talk about Brett Beatty and we'll talk about maybe a trade package or two because the Mets have a plethora of options right now. It all is dependent on what happens with Pete Alonso, obviously, but you now have Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, and Ronnie Mauricio, who's inevitably going to come back as well in terms of clogging up that kind of third base role. So hold your horses on this kind of comment, but I like the way you're thinking right now because obviously this is a question that the Mets are going to have to address 100%. My guy, John Rossi in the chat, the bullpen was great tonight. Guys, if there's one thing that you all should know about me is that I am such a believer in this Mets bullpen. You all can call me crazy. You all can call me a homer, delusional. It doesn't matter. I will take it. But the fact of the matter is that I've been singing this tune for the last couple of weeks. Yes, the Mets bullpen is gonna have their hiccups, right? Edwin Diaz is gonna blow a save. Let's say Huascar Brazaban comes out there and he absolutely has a meltdown. Jose Buto issues a couple of walks like we've seen in the last couple outings for him after this stellar performance in the 10th inning tonight. That stuff is going to happen, right? Nobody's expecting 100% success hit rate on the bullpen. But the fact of the matter is that the type of stuff and the names that I see in this bullpen, roster-wise, right, and just looking at what they have to offer, I'm so confident in this bullpen. And honestly, shout out to Daniel Caps. I'm not sure if you're in the chat. You are a loyal supporter of this channel and these post-game streams. You can pull the numbers for the chat in terms of how good this bullpen has been in terms of their ranking in the entirety of the MLB. I know you did that a couple streams ago, but if you want to recirculate that for me, because that just puts into perspective and backs up my takes in terms of me being confident in this bullpen and me calling them at worst, a top 5 bullpen in this league, which would put them, quote unquote, in the elite category, like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not backing off that take at all. You can press me on it. I'm not backing off of it. I'm 10 toes deep with this bullpen. That's it. That's it. That's really it. So, love this bullpen. Let's see here. Some more comments. I can scroll for days in this comment section. Y'all, please keep it up. This is awesome to be interacting with you all. Again, I don't have my glasses. I kind of have to squint at the comment section here, so I apologize about that if I'm a little slow. We got Braden in the chat. Absolutely, shout out to you. We got Ray in the chat. Character game CP. Absolutely 100%. This was a game that, like I said, it wasn't easy per se against an inferior team, but like we said in the pregame, we knew the Cincinnati Reds weren't just going to go ahead and fold over to the New York Mets. They're coming off of a sweep against the Houston Astros, who for right now are taking care of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the slide that we will see next in this post-game stream that I'm doing right now will kind of change a little bit if that score holds up. But for right now, obviously, the Mets are still locked into that third wild card spot as a tie with the Atlanta Braves. Ethan, what a game, CP. Mark Vientos is him. Who is Brett Baty? Exactly, Ethan. I know you were talking about Brett Baty. Shauna in the comment section was also talking about Brett Baty and what we potentially do with him. At this point, it's not my concern at the moment. David Stearns, being the baseball genius that he is, and I highly encourage, if you are new to this channel and if you haven't checked out my David Stearns video that I dropped on the off day yesterday, please go check that out. I spent the off day thinking about how much better off the New York Mets are right now than just a year ago under David Stearns, as opposed to Billy Epler, in the position that we are right now. And I decided to throw out a pre-recorded episode damn near 20 minutes long, talking about the offseason acquisitions and the trade deadline that Mr. David Stearns had to allow the Mets to be in this position right now, being within striking distance of the wild card. So please go check that out. I highly encourage you. Like I said, it's going to be on my homepage profile of my YouTube channel if you're new here, like I said. But come on, hang around, guys. Please, like I said, if you are new here, please hit that thumbs up on this video. It is thoroughly appreciated. And I am parched. I got to get some fluids in me right now. It's a Friday night. We're all enjoying our night. I definitely appreciate you all being here. Hold on one second. All right. We talked about the pitching. We talked about the bullpen. I think it's time to talk about the offense, right? Obviously, there's really nothing to say about this offense in terms of the personnel, minus the fact that Mr. Mark Vientos is here to stay. I mean, I tweeted out earlier, and the fact that Mark Vientos and my prediction for Mark Vientos at the beginning of the season in terms of the home run category was 22 home runs, 2-2. That was my prediction for Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos coming into this game 141 of 162 on September 6th, already reached that 22 home runs category, that mark that I had set for him. And it was just kind of a shot in the dark. It was me kind of being a little bit cautiously optimistic, but also just believing the true raw power that Mark Vientos has. Well, sure enough, he goes out there after being sent down, not once, I believe, but twice in this season, to coming back and having full confidence in himself to be able to carry an offense. And yes, that is not an exaggeration. There has been points in this season where Mark Vientos has carried this offense. And that is just absolutely mesmerizing to think about. When you take a look at seasons like Brandon Nimmo's having, right? Relatively, especially recently over the last couple of months, a down season. And the same thing with Pete Alonso. Yes, the home runs have been better with Pete Alonso, but he is still struggling in terms of an at-bat to at-bat basis, putting together and stringing together competent at-bats. So given that, you naturally, if the Mets wanted to be in this position, there would have to be a player or two, right? And there's been a player or two that has stepped up to kind of fill that void. One has been Jose Iglesias, who got a base knock coming off the bench today, obviously. And then the other has been Mark Vientos. Kudos to them, man. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, Mark Vientos is, you can say he's an anomaly, and he might be because he has true gap to gap power. There's not many hitters in this league that can put balls over the fence in the right center field gap as a righty the way Mark Vientos does with authority. And he has shown that in a handful of home runs of his 24 home runs this season. But his at-bats, the maturity level of Mark Vientos, and I really have to just say this, the maturity level of his at-bats is mesmerizing. Not every at-bat warrants the same approach. And I think that is the area that Mark Vientos is mastering right now. You see an at-bat in the first inning where he comes up and he gets his pitch. He ambushes the pitcher, right? First pitch, why waste a strike? Go out there, attack early. If you all have been listening to me on my channel and all of the streams that we do, I love first pitch hitting. And Mark Vientos has been a pivotal key player in that narrative that I am pushing and the success rate of it. And the latest example of that is tonight. But also, you have to look at how the at-bats and the progressions work through the game, because that last at-bat that he took to put the ball over the fence for a 6-4 victory in the bottom of the 10th inning, that's an 8-pitch at-bat. That's a guy that went 1-2 or 2-2, fouled off a couple of pitches, stayed alive in the at-bat, and then didn't miss his pitch with 2 strikes. A lot of young players in that situation, especially being the 10th inning, they tense up. The moment gets a little bit too large for them. And understandably so, because these guys are still young at the end of the day. So you really can't fault them for it. But Mark Vientos, he seems like he's locked in at all times, and the moment does not faze him. And that is a making of a player and a third baseman at that is going to be starting for the New York Mets for many years to come. And I'm the first one to tell you all that I wasn't a third base Mark Vientos believer. I was a DH Mark Vientos believer. He persuaded me, and he has kind of had to win me over in terms of his third base play. But I see the vision now. And there's a handful of people that I've talked to before the season started that believed in Mark Vientos at third base. And kudos to them. Absolutely. I have to tip my cap to you because I was not one of those people. I believed in his bat at all costs all the time, but his glove, not so much. I'm so happy to be wrong because on both sides of the ball, he is excelling. This is a player at this point, with how young he is, that we are throwing in there in the 3-hole, right? You take a look at where the Mets were at in the starting lineup category to begin the season. Who was batting in the 3-hole? It was Francisco Lindor. And your leadoff hitter was Brandon Nimmo. This is a change that has come full circle for the New York Mets. Francisco Lindor is now your solidified borderline MVP, right? He's in the MVP discussion, your co-MVP at this point until further notice at your leadoff spot. Brandon Nimmo is having a little bit of an off year, understandably so. I still think he's going to turn it on. But where do you get that production from in the 3-hole? They tried Pete Alonso out in the 3-hole, really didn't work that well. Who do you throw in there at the 3-hole? A lot of people were saying Alvarez at one point. He's been struggling, and they didn't really believe in him in the 3-hole. People are saying JD Martinez. He's been kind of struggling this season as well. All in all, they didn't really believe in him in the 3-hole. And Mark Vientos, as of recent, at the very minimum, seems to be comfortable in order to take that role. How many guys that are of the sort of, I guess, I wouldn't want to say experience level of Mark Vientos in terms of age and in terms of just sheer starting experience in this league are hitting successfully in the 3-hole. But when you take a look at the leaders in the offensive statistics category in the National League for third baseman, I promise you, in most categories, the name that's going to come number one at your screen or on your screen is Mark Vientos. So, listen, this is me all in all telling you that Mark Vientos has been a catalyst for this team, and he has needed to be. The Mets required this of Mark Vientos due to the fact that Nimmo and Alonso have been struggling. And I have no idea what you're talking about here, Ken. I don't know what garbage you're talking about. I'm literally telling you that Alonso and Nimmo are not having good seasons at all. So if that's what you're saying, then this is what I'm saying. But Mark Vientos has filled in those footsteps. And that is something that, quite frankly, the Mets needed to be in this position. So I really think it's time for us to take a step back. And I'm not saying that we haven't been, but just appreciating the fact that Mark Vientos is doing what he's doing right now when everybody, and maybe even including myself for some part, is really didn't believe it. That's all I'm saying. That's more or less what I'm saying. So, like I said, little bit of a rant. I apologize about that. But when you have a game where Mark Vientos on the offensive side of the ball brings you 4 RBIs, 2 home runs with the walk-off victory, of course you're going to have to sit here and do a whole segment about Mark Vientos, and rightfully so. Even if he didn't do that, I think Mark Vientos deserves his own segment because this is an incredible season that we are witnessing at this point. It really is. It really is. Let me get back into the chat here. I know you all are getting a little, I guess, impatient in terms of the whole Mark Vientos talk, and I feel you, 100%. I feel you. Let me get it here into the comment section. Iglesias is, yeah, he is the best clutch hitter on the team. Honestly, if you look at the runners in scoring position with 2 outs category, Harrison Bader can also be lumped into that category as well. Brandon Nimmo at one point before he went on this slide could have been lumped into that category, but I agree with you. Iglesias, more often than not, especially with 2 outs, runs in scoring position, he is that guy to come through. And we also saw that tonight as well. Jay saying inferior teams win games all the time. This is another big win. Cannot underestimate the inferior teams, bar none at all. We got Ariel in the chat, LFGM, great win. Loving it. Appreciate you, Ariel. Thank you so much. We got Cope Agree, Ken. I'd bat him sixth or lower in the lineup. I'm not seeing the progression of that conversation. Please enlighten me who you would like to see. There's so many. Oh, they're saying Alonso. They're saying Alonso. You'd like to see Alonso bat lower than sixth in the lineup. I see what you're saying now. Alonso has been. Let's call a spade a spade. This is a great segue point as well, Cope, because it's all fine and dandy right now in this sort of post game that we're talking about, but I was not a fan at all of Pete Alonso's game. And did I say Pete Alonso hit a home run today in this graphic? I thoroughly apologize. I thoroughly no. Yeah, I said Pete Alonso hit a home run today. Huh. Typo. Typo on my end. I apologize. Rob and I have been having a lot of typos as of recent. I'm not sure if anyone caught that. I apologize about that. But yeah, Pete Alonso did not go yard. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I agree with you all. Pete Alonso, the at-bats that he is taking, as of recent are unacceptable. They really are. Ron Darling. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stan from Westport, he had a hit and scored a run, not a home run. The H kind of snuck its way in there. I apologize. Please disregard that. This was, like I said, a little bit of a late thing that I was propping up because Rob had to cancel last minute. So the graphics may be a little bit off, but we're here nonetheless. I'm picking up what you guys are putting down. But back to the main point in terms of Alonso. Yes, 100%. He is not taking his best at bats at all. It's unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. 211 average with runners in scoring position from a guy that you are throwing out there consistently in the 3 or 4 spot. More often the 4 spot, but sometimes we've seen him at the 3 spot, right? That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. We haven't seen, for the most part this season, we haven't seen him rack up hits in situations, right, where there's 2 outs and maybe a runner on second. If you were to poll a lot of Mets fans at this moment, asking them which hitters in this lineup with a runner on second base and 2 outs you need a hit in this situation to potentially tie up a ball game or win a ball game, who you would like to come up at the plate, I guarantee you Pete Alonso doesn't even crack top 5 in most fans' minds. And he wouldn't crack top 5 in my mind either. You have Francisco Lindor that you could say. You'd have Mark Vientos that you could say, right? You'd have, let's see here. You'd have, honestly, to be honest, I know he's struggling, but I would even say Brandon Nimmo in terms of getting that clutch hit. I would throw Harrison Bader's name out there as well, and I'd throw Jose Iglesias out there as well. So there's a lot of different hitters, and that list is not exhaustive that I just provided. Obviously, there's a couple other guys that I would probably entrust at this point a little bit more than Pete Alonso based off of what we've seen in 2024. I know that might be a crazy hot take, but at this point, with what we're seeing consistently, it's kind of factual. It's factual in my mind, and you all might disagree, but Pete Alonso may not even be a top 5 hitter in this lineup that you would want in that clutch situation. And I did a entire live stream about 2 months ago talking about Pete Alonso's clutch numbers at that time. And they weren't good then, and they're not good now. Ball none. Or bar none. Like, at all. So, yeah, this is a concern with Pete Alonso. It's concerning for me. It's concerning for Mets fans. And I'm sure it's concerning for the front office where they have to sit here and figure out what a potential extension could look like for him. We just saw a player, a Scott Boras client in Matt Chapman, sign an extension during the season. Everybody always talks about, oh, Scott Boras client. He's not going to sign in the middle of the season. He's waiting until the offseason to get his bag. Well, the rhetoric on Scott Boras might change, and his power status in this league, right, might have changed. And that change might have started last offseason, where we saw premier pitchers take prove-it-year deals like Blake Snell and a Jordan Montgomery. And now we see Matt Chapman. I'm not saying Matt Chapman is settling because that was a great contract for Matt Chapman, but not many people are used to seeing Scott Boras and his clients signing still during the middle of the season. They're not used to seeing that. So, like I said, I'm not going to bombard this live stream with Pete Alonso extension talk, but it's just food for thought in terms of a lot of people talking about Pete Alonso and his unwillingness to sign XYZ number months ago or a year ago with the New York Mets for an extension. Times change at this point. Times change, and you never know at this point because he's having an abysmal season compared to what he was supposed to have, and that's just that is what it is. Scott Boras is not dumb. Pete Alonso is not dumb. They both know what the deal is. So it's going to be on them. It's really going to be on them. That's my thought process right now at that situation. But anyways, guys, a little bit more of this game. I think I have the wrong graphic up here because I also have okay, never mind. Anyways, I thought it was a HR instead of a BB next to Alvarez. But what I will say is that as in terms of this game, you saw Jeff McNeil get hit by a pitch. Obviously, he got taken out of the game. He got a substitution for. Hopefully, he's all good as well. That's what happened in this game as well. You see Starling Marte here. He's got a hit under his belt. People are still kind of waiting for Starling Marte to kind of take form, I guess, to solidify that outfield in terms of the offensive category. But night in and night out, I'm going to be honest with you all. I have a really good feeling about the Mets offense. And even when the Mets were struggling during that first stretch of the second half where everybody was panicking, the offensive numbers were falling, the guys, nobody really, minus maybe Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil at the time, were performing like their first half selves right before that All-Star break. Even during that time, if you all go back and listen to the live streams, I told you all, don't panic. This offense has proven that they are top 5 in almost every single major offensive category in the league. And I hate to say it, but not many people wanted to listen at that point. But we're starting to see now that this offense really is still trying to take form, and they are taking form, and the Mets are reaping the benefits because of it. This is a very deep and talented lineup. And as I say in every single live stream, no matter what personnel Mr. Mendoza wants to throw out there, I am confident in the production that they are going to produce in terms of backing their pitcher up, scoring enough runs to win a ball game. I said it many times, and as Ray's saying in the chat, I appreciate the attestation here. I did say that. Everybody was falling off or jumping off the bandwagon of this Mets offense when they went into a rut in the second half or to start the second half for that 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks where they were struggling. I told you all, please pump the brakes on jumping off the bandwagon because this offense in its entirety has shown us why they are a top 5 offense in the league. I've said it. Rob said it. No pitcher on the other side, the opposition, wants to face the New York Mets lineup right now. They don't want to do it. They can beat you in so many different ways. They really can. I mean, what else can we say, guys? What else can we say? What a game. What a game. Sean Manaea did just enough. He made 2 mistakes, but that's okay. Like I said, he pitched well in my book, and the 2 mistakes for the 2 home runs is not going to sway my decision in that. The bullpen helps him out. Reed Garrett is dominant. Edwin Diaz is shut down, and Jose Butto is just clutch in that 10th inning to set up the walk-off by Mr. Mark Vientos. Can we please, guys, everybody in the chat, please, first of all, like the video, subscribe to the channel, but spam the W's in the chat. I'm going to start the train off here. I'm going to say W's, W's, these saying W. Please spam the W's in the chat. I want to see those W's because, guys, this is a electric time for us as Mets fans. And I am here for you all talking about this damn team, and you all are excited to talk about this damn team. I see it in the comment section. The chat is rolling. We are popping. It is just about 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to I'm going to click on everybody that follows suit with the W's. So first was me with the W's, then we have Marcus, then we have D, then we have Stony. Keep spamming the W's, guys. Keep spamming them. Ray W, Ken W, JW. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Jay, as well. We got the other JW, Jeff W. We got D with the double W. We got Bruce with the W. Ryan with the W. Everybody. NY Committee with the W. Ricardo with the W. W's in the chat, guys. The Mets are winners of 8 straight games. They are rolling and they are hot when it matters the most. We got Dave with the W. Darren with the W. Y'all are the best. Guys, y'all are the best. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate it. Logos with the W. Just keep coming, guys. Keep the W's coming. And as long as those W's in the chat keep coming, guess what? The New York Mets keep delivering W's for us to talk about. Because guess what? I'm not satisfied. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. If we do a pregame stream tomorrow, I'm going to say it again. I'm not satisfied with this. I'm not satisfied with 8 straight wins. Yes, the Mets put their best pitcher and they moved him up 1 start with a potential weather mishap on Saturday at Citi Field in terms of the weather forecast. Whether the game happens or not, it doesn't matter. I'm operating under the assumption that it is going to happen. And guess what? I'm not satisfied with 8 straight wins, and neither should you all be. We need 9. Because guess what? The Atlanta Braves did win today against the Toronto Blue Jays. So we need to keep pace. Let's talk about that game tomorrow. Not set in stone in terms of it's actually going to happen or not. Again, the updated NL wildcard standings. The Padres are currently 3.5 out. They are currently playing against the San Francisco Giants, the Arizona Diamondbacks. As I mentioned before, chat, please help me out on the Diamondbacks score right now. Last time I checked, it was 4 or 5-0 Astros over the Diamondbacks in the 6th inning. Has that changed at all? Let me know. The Braves won tonight against the Blue Jays, and obviously our New York Mets. I should have put them on top. I apologize. But nonetheless, they both get the dashes because they are both tied with each other for that 3rd NL wildcard spot. Jose Quintana gets the nod tomorrow. He is 7-9 with a 4.27 ERA. The Cincinnati Reds are not decided on their starting pitcher. I was kind of surprised about the way that they handled the pitching duties today, I guess I should say, for the Cincinnati Reds, with Fernando Cruz only getting that 1st inning. The guy that they had relieving him, that lefty, was spectacular. Whoever relieved, I forgot his name. Honestly, I should remember his name, but I don't remember his name. That lefty was carving the Mets up for a little bit. I'm not going to lie. That was an impressive performance. But I was kind of wondering, like, what was the philosophy there this late in the season to basically utilize a bullpen game? That was kind of head scratching to me, but nonetheless, I guess it worked out for them at the time because the reliever they tossed in there right after Fernando Cruz was almost untouchable for a couple innings. So I guess that worked out for them. But these are the updated NL wildcard standings for now. This could read +1, if I'm not mistaken, for the Diamondbacks if they decide to lose tonight. Let me look at the scores too. 8-0 Astros lead over the Diamondbacks. So yeah, guys, I mean, the Mets aren't just chasing the Braves at this point. They are chasing the Diamondbacks and the Padres in these wild card standings. It could be +1, and the Mets could be 1 game back or 1.5 games back. 1.5 games back, I believe, of the Arizona Diamondbacks for that 2nd wild card. Let me look at the scores scores again. Excuse me. The Padres are winning 3-0 against the San Francisco Giants as well. So that is your update from around the league. So it would be 1.5. I'm pretty sure 1.5. 1.5. Appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you for the update on that. I just checked it as well. Let's see here. We got so many chats, guys. I appreciate you all. We got Brandon in the chat. 8-0. Thank you so much. Hope 8-0. Ricardo 8-0. Jeremy 8-0. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Daniel WWWWW. Appreciate you, Daniel. Loyal subscriber and member of this channel. Shout out to Daniel and Darren as well. Guys, shameless plug here. If you have not checked out the channel memberships, in the pinned comment, you can see a special emoji that I use and Daniel uses and Darren uses in this chat as well. If you become a member of the channel, if you become a member of the channel, you can use those special emojis as well. They'll put it in the books, the Lindor and the Alonso emojis as well. That is also open to you all. But listen, prime opportunity for the New York Mets tomorrow. Prime opportunity. We'll see. And there it goes right there, Darren with the emojis right there. Let's see if this game happens. I know there's supposed to be some weather. I'm not exactly sure if the game will be in or on, but if it is, we will be live for a pregame, or at least I will be. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Rob's schedule, but I will be, and I will be live for the postgame as well. I will be around for the postgame. So again, you all, if you're new here, you might get sick of me, but if you don't get sick of me and you like exactly what you heard in this postgame, and you like the passion and the energy and the interaction that we bring on these post games, then please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be here all season long, into the off season, into the 2025 season, and so on and so forth. You get my gist. I will be here, and you can count on regular content from me. But these are the updated NL wildcard standings. Jose Quintana gets the nod tomorrow for the New York Mets, should the game happen. 7-9 win-loss record, 4.27 ERA. Jose Quintana has been he's been up and down. That's, I guess, the nicest way that I can put this season for Jose Quintana. Those of y'all who don't know, I am not a fan of Jose Quintana in terms of the ability that he possesses, but the Mets have no choice in terms of keeping him around. He is going to be in this rotation. He has had absolutely brilliant starts this season. I'm not denying that, but the consistency level with Jose Quintana has been a little bit of a question mark for me, but we will see which version of Jose Quintana we get tomorrow should we get this game in. We got John with a super chat as well, Pure Journal Sports. Please, guys, if you are in this chat, if you are in this channel, and if you somehow do not subscribe to Pure Journal Sports and John, fantastic in-game play-by-play live streams. Fantastic. Like, you need to go in on those. Very interactive. Your chat pops up right on the screen as well. And you also get a little bit of just post-game streams as well with some of the content that I'm going to start doing. And we already did our initial post-game with John and myself. We're going to be doing a lot more post-games. Please subscribe to the Pure Journal Sports YouTube channel. Just surpassed 4,000 subscribers, well on their way to 4.1K. John, you're killing it. I definitely appreciate you, especially our collaborations and our future collaborations. Thank you for the super chat. LFGM, he says, no matter what happens the rest of the season, what a turnaround. Smash the thumbs up and subscribe. Listen to the man. Listen to John. Salute to you, John. I definitely appreciate you all. And like I said, if you do not subscribe to the Pure Journal Sports YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so. Awesome content. Very awesome content. No worries. No worries. We all need nights off here and there. I just took a damn near week and a half vacation overseas. I took a week-long vacation during the trade deadline. I have some catching up to do, so I will pick up the slack absolutely. 100%. I appreciate you all. Jeremy, Quintana is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. That's a good analogy. I like that. That's a good analogy. Ray St. John and I. CP, you are very good on the Mets. I dig it. Or Bruce is saying that. Bruce is saying that. And then Daniel's saying, sorry, no fan of hockey, and I'm not a Knicks fan. I know you are a Magic fan, Daniel, but you still pop into my Knicks streams. And guess what? If you all are New York Knicks fans, I'm doing post-game streams this season, and I've done them last season for the New York Knicks as well. We're going to continue those post-game streams for our New York Knicks. But Bruce, again, to get back to your comment, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you for this comment. Let's see here. Stan is saying, I wish Quintana was as consistent as Forrest Gump. A good comment. Dave is saying, congratulations to Mark Vientos on his clutch walk-off home run, his second of the game, and his second walk-off this year. Yes, LGM, absolutely, 100%. Christopher saying, I'm too drunk to type W. Listen, I understand that it's a Friday night. Everybody's enjoying their time. We're on here on stream enjoying our time. It is no problem at all. Enjoy your alcoholic beverages. And the Mets made these alcoholic beverages, I guess, hit nicely and not hit poorly, because we are celebrating and we are not sulking, right? That's what we are not doing. We are celebrating. So shout out to you. Salute to you, Christopher. Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday night and having a safe Friday night as well. Definitely appreciate you. We got our mayor in the chat. Appreciate you, our mayor. Thank you so much. Pray for a good Quintana tomorrow. This is a fantastic comment. And if I had to boil down my thoughts and opinions on Jose Quintana, is that I am always praying for the good version of Quintana. Because as you all were saying in the chat, you never know what version of Quintana you're going to get. So let's just pray, as Mr. Mayor is saying here, that we are getting the good version of Quintana as well. 100%. Really good comment. But yeah, that's about it for me, guys. I'm not going to drag this post game on any longer. The Mets improved to 77-64. The Reds fall to 68-74, if you even care about that. But 13 games over 500. It is each game, each win the Mets get is just more and more impressive to me in terms of where we were at just a couple of months ago. So like I said, keep stacking wins. The series game one is always the most important. Hopefully you go out there, get a good version of Quintana, and you win game two to win the series. And then who knows, maybe you might be vying for your third straight sweep of the last three series, right? Because you swept the White Sox, you swept the Red Sox, and if you win tomorrow, you're in prime position for three straight sweeps, which is always good at this point in the season. So like I said, it's your boy CP. Mr. OMG himself, Jose Iglesias, does make the final cut for the outro slide. It is September 6, 2024. Post-game stream, another post-game stream in the books. I was solo today on the post-game. Like I said, Rob had some prior commitments where he got called into work very late, so I decided to pick this up myself. But I'm here for you all. We're talking Mets baseball. Want to know what you all have to say in the chat. Keep on checking out the channel memberships. Keep on subscribing. Keep on hitting the super chats if that's something that you all are interested in as well. We'll always prop up your super chat and appreciate the support on that. Thank you all so much for the support from the bottom of my heart. Follow me on all my social media. Again, I post clips of my episodes, right? I will tell you when I am going live on all my social media handles. And if you don't have the notifications button turned on to my YouTube channel at CPNYSports, make sure you turn it on. And this is my X and Instagram, same handle at CPNYSports. You can follow me there. Thank you all to the chat. You all have been absolutely great tonight. Thank you all for letting me know what you all are thinking in this electric time, in this electric win. And salute to everybody in the chat, and salute to all the Mets players, and a special salute to Mr. Mark Vientos himself. Walk-off winner, 2 home runs on the night. Truly special season he's putting together as he hits his 24th home run for a Mets 6-4 victory. See you all tomorrow. Keep stacking wins. Let's go Mets. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Peace.
Thank you for watching the True Mets Talk podcast. Make sure you're tapping on that notifications button and checking out all the latest content on the channel.